Hey, cousins. What time is it? Nope, it's not titty time. It is Smackdown. What happened time? Let's get into it. So, this is the Smackdown before Money in the Bank, before Worlds Collide. I want to say kudos to anybody that's about to sit and watch all the wrestling they can handle. I don't see anything wrong with it, but according to Vince Russo, you need to get a life. And we're going to talk about that at another time. Moving right along, we was down to the Dignity Health Arena in Bakersfield, California. And the way this administration is running through Medicaid and making people get health care in their employer as if it's better, I don't know if there's too much dignity in the health arena. Yep, I had to do it. I had to do it. Joe and Wade on the one and twos. Let's get into it. Seth Rollins came to the ring. Bakersfield. I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I'm Seth freaking Rollins. Essentially, Seth said that tomorrow his plan, okay, because he has to remind us of his plan like Gargamel, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I forget every time I turn off the TV. His plan is to get the second highest title, okay, the Raw title, and codify the power into one glove because he will have all of the 5 stones to take over the entire universe. And all he has to do is snap his finger and blow this motherfucker up. His plan is to be Thanos. Who knew? He went on to say he already pulverized the people that he needed to pulverize. He took out Animal, Sami Zayn. He took out CM Punk and took out more of his back teeth. And he took out Roman Reigns. Where the fuck is Roman Reigns? Who the fuck knows? He said he put Roman Reigns back on his island of relevancy, wherever the fuck that is, because Roman don't fuck with us like that. I said, Seth got a point. Roman don't fuck with us. He don't check in. He don't do none of that. He don't give a fuck with that $15 million they claim he making. They said they come and bring Roman to the table. They was like, we need to get you back down to that base pay. We got to get you back down to the base pay. That's what they had said. Solo Sikoa came out. He said, listen, who y'all supposed to be? I know we the hood line. This is what we got going on. You got JC Cezay and you got Jacob Fatu right here. Who y'all supposed to be? Like a motley crew of the Bloodline or something? What is he supposed to be, a right-hand man? And he pointed at the Rottweiler. Who's that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be fucking the honorary Oos? And he pointed at Tsunami, blow your knees out. Braun, shit, I don't even know his name no more, child. Then he said, you got a wise man who half dead. And he said, I guess you supposed to be, he should have said, I guess you supposed to be Roman Reigns, little brother. No, he missed opportunity to sun the fuck out of Seth Rollins. He said, listen, choose your next words wisely, okay? Because y'all out here throwing out threats, and that's not something we take kindly, you understand? Seth said, well, listen, you feel like you got an issue? Because I could just get my 2 dudes right here, my 2 wild dogs, and snap my goddamn fingers and squish the fuck out of y'all and keep it moving, okay? He said, what's up, Jacob? You look like you got something to want to say. You want to get on the mic and say something? Or what? Were you going to let Solo do all the talking? Solo said, listen. You're not about to fuck up what we got going on, okay? All this jaw jacking and shit, it's cute. It is what it is. Just make sure that you just don't be throwing out threats and stuff and think we're not going to come out here and whoop your ass. Anyway, Solo took off his jacket. Braun Breaker went ahead and got in front of Seth like the dog he is. That is what he's emulating. Braun Breaker has turned into a real live Rottweiler. Matter of fact, I'm not even calling him no Rottweiler no more. Braun Breaker Cane Corso. Okay, that's how he functioning right now. Big and stone crazy. Okay. And then we had a little huge standoff or whatever. And Steph and his crew was like, come on, let's go. And then Jimmy attacked. Jimmy Uso came out of nowhere, and he went ahead and started whooping on JC Cezay. Now, I'm just trying to figure out, I'm glad that Jimmy is, making his presence known or whatever, but I'm going to need to get him some type of direction. Jimmy got beef with JC Cesare. Not really sure why, because Solo is like, you do know you can just come on in the family. Like, I don't know what you got going on. Now, this is where Solo shine. And we go straight into Jimmy Uso versus CJ. She said, listen, look, whatever, okay? Solo and Jacob is in his corner. This is where he shine. While Jimmy is doing his thing and whooping up on JC, every time Jimmy is down and getting his ass whooped, Solo's like, listen, man, you ain't got to get your ass whooped like this. You could just come on down, join the family. It ain't no big deal. I ain't even mad at you. And Jimmy be like, shut the fuck up. And then Solo be like, all right. Then he'll get his ass whipped some more. And then, Solo come over and be like, hey, anytime, I can end this. And you come on over and get with the winning team, you know what I mean? And he was just like, ugh. So Mateo, end up getting pinned by Jimmy. Okay, he got pinned by Jimmy, and after the match, Mateo was yelling at Solo, and Mateo told Solo that Fatu is the problem, not him. So see, we got a rift within the little tiny fraction here. Okay, JC trying to get his foot in, but okay, Jacob Fatu, he's acting like when his brother Jay wasn't fucking with Sammy all that time. Remember, it took forever to get Jay on the Sammy board, to get on Sammy's side so we could get this going. Well, now Jacob is doing doing the Jay thing. He ain't fucking with JC. Now Jacob don't even know JC. And he not trying to know him. So JC like, fuck it. I'ma just go ahead and get it where I fit in. Fuck that. So now JC is trying to get Jacob Fatu jammed up. And then Jimmy, he after JC. So I don't know what's going on in this little situation, but okay, we got a situation, so that's a plus. Let's go ahead and run into Zelina Vega. Every time I say Zelina Vega name, oh, made me yawn. Good grief. And she ran into Gulia. Oh my goodness. No wonder it was 2 yawns. Gulia was right there. Gulia said she wants to mix it up with the U.S. champion. Zelina said, listen, I see you looking, but you ain't touching none of what I got. If you want a shot at the U.S. title, you're going to have to beat my body down to the ground. And when my hands are dead, you can take it. Because I'm not giving this shit up. Okay? Then Zelina said, do we have a problem? And then I said, well, you kind of just described what the problem was. The bitch wants your title. And to be honest with you, they're probably going to give it to her because you suck. She sucks, okay? Shit. We go into the 50-11th time for Zelina Vega and Piper Niven with the Hervis in a Bakersfield. Listen, Zelina Vega and the Hervis and Chelsea Green, you're running down whatever is left of his title. No one cared. No one cares, okay? Zelina Vega comes in, this is what you hear. There you go. That's it. There's really nothing to talk about. You've seen this. You if you've seen it once, you've seen it twice. It is what it is. I will say, Vega power bombing Niven through the table. She got help from Gulia. Gulia came out and hit Piper with the kendo stick, and that's how she got power bombed through the Slim Jim's snap tables. Slim Jim's is now the sponsor of the table spots. More tables, more Slim Jims. Yeah. Okay. Oh, goodness. Anyway, Gulia went ahead and helped Zelina raise her hand in celebration, and then she proceeded to go ahead and just jam Zelina in the chest. Just stand on her chest and basically hold up the belt to signify that she's next. Let me tell y'all something about Gulia. When she entered the match, she did one of the weakest dives. I don't know what the fuck that is. Gulia It's just she just don't got it. She don't got it. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. I know y'all turned. I know y'all think she is just the bee's knees. I don't see what you all see. Outside of the Joshi girl, the cookie cutter Joshi girl, I'm completely flummoxed. Moving right along, we got Cody Rhodes talking to Jay in the locker room. Cody asks if Jay's okay. Jay said yeet. And then Jimmy came in and he was like, "What's up, little brother? You all right?" And Jay was like, "Why you asking me why I'm okay?" And Jimmy's like, "Cause you slow. So I just want to know if you was okay or whatever, because you got a lot going on. I got stuff going on too, although it's not on TV. I just want to make sure everything is tomorrow, and that everything is on the up and up." And Jimmy said, "Yeet." There you go. Aleister Black. They put him back in the closet, guys. Aleister Black is back in the closet with his church candles. And he is speaking in tongues. So I'm going to translate it as best I can. He said, "I took out the hoes. I took out the top hoe in Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay? There are no more rules. I'm going to get in this ring and I'm going to beat your ass. The moment I come out this closet, it's going to be somebody's going to have to answer to me. Every time I come out this closet, it's going to be hell to pay." Okay, that's what Aleister Black said. LA Knight came out and cut a really unnecessary promo. I'm not even going to hold you. Promo was long and unnecessary. The reason why he cut the promo is because everybody wants to say, "Yeah." And you didn't say it right, Bakersfield. He was talking so you could say, "Yeah." He said, "Let me talk to you." And y'all didn't say, "Yeah," which prolonged this promo. My goodness. Y'all, please be on cue wherever you got to be, audience. When you know the people that's coming with the ad libs is about to get a promo, get you a drink, prepare yourself to do the ad libs. Damn. LA Knight versus Aleister Black. Went straight into it. Seen it once. You already know what's going on. What is important here is that Seth Rollins and his 2 dogs and a pig, he got a little farm. Oh, goodness. They interrupt because what they're doing tonight is they're softening up the competition for the Money in the Bank, right? So the dogs have been let loose and they're running wild, and Seth comes in and he's handing out curb stomps for good measure. Okay? Spears, splash, curb stomp. That is what you saw all night long. Moving right along, LA Knight won via disqualification. I'm going to say this before we move on. I understand that everybody's like, "Oh, there's no house shows and there's no this and that," to protect the wrestlers and give them time with the family. So if you know that these guys are having a heavy duty ladder match tomorrow, why did you see fit for them to have such a competitive match? Why do you have the Money in the Bank entrances, or however you call it, the Money in the Bank qualifiers, having these competitive ass matches if you know they got a big match literally the next day? Because they don't give a fuck about their talent. That's why. Especially if you're a face, you know you got more fight. You got to do more fight than the heel. I think this was completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. But this is the way they got the Money in the Bank guys on the show. Okay? At least they put effort into the Money in the Bank guys throughout the show. We'll get to the least bit of effort for the ladies. We'll get to that. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis were backstage. Look good. Adam Pearce looked good. Nick Aldis' shoulders was tight and very they was centered. Everybody was really balanced back there. The chakras was balanced. Essentially, we got an announcement. The 2025 King of the Ring tournaments will begin next week. The tournament will start with a fatal 4-way from the men's and women's division. And from there, the tournament will turn into co-branded single competition with the semifinals. And then the finals will take place at the WWE Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The stakes are really high this year because the winners of both tournaments will get to fight the top champion of their respective brands at SummerSlam. So it used to be the Money in the Bank winner got to pick who they were going to fight. And usually, I'm going to say usually, that would be at the big show at the SummerSlam. Now, that has been taken away from the Money in the Bank winner. Because they now have to, I mean, you're going to fight whatever champion that is. They can either lose at the Night of Champions and you have a new champion. And if you so see fit, you could cash in at SummerSlam. Or if you stupid, you'll cash in the night of Money in the Bank and risk it. I think this year we should prolong the cash-ins and have a little fun with the briefcases. But I know there are PLEs every 2 weeks now. I did the math. There are PLEs every 2 fucking weeks. And also, I will also say a missed opportunity is to include NXT in this tournament. You could have included NXT, and then you would have had four. You would have had at least 4, more than the 3 matches that we're gonna get. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Moving right along, Byron Saxon had a backstage interview with Jade Cargill. Jade looked like a lovely, delicate red fur ball. Wig was snatched and split like it's supposed to be. Listen, Jade's gorgeous. Jade posted a picture on her Instagram and said, essentially, if you don't know how to dress, she can't be around you. I said, I know that's right, because Gulia, one of the cousins, brought it to my attention to go take a look at Gulia's outfit when she arrived at the arena. Baby, she looked like what's his name from Fatal Fury? Ken? She looked like a Fatal Fury character. Like, girl, what is, you know what? All them Japanese girls don't know how to dress. I'm just gonna be honest with you. A lot of the girls don't know how to put nothing together. They either looking like they work in an office or they just dug some shit out their briefcase. That's something to talk about. We got to talk about that. I went back and I said, Julia, no. And she was all awkward and shit. No, let's just not. Anyway, Brad asked Jay how he feel about not being a part of Money in the Bank. Jade Cargill proceeded to say, well, I didn't get an opportunity to go up for the briefcase, but that's okay because now I got an opportunity to be queen of the ring. Byron was like, that sounds good, Jade. So can you just give us an idea of where you stand with Bianca? Because Bianca, you was in the ring where she literally told Naomi to go fuck herself. So where do you stand? Because we all want to know. And Jay was like, girl, let me tell you. And then Mother Bone stepped in to the scene. Mother Bone looked good tonight, okay? She had her bone broth with a light onion soup, okay? And pulled them titties right together. Okay, got that Rolex and them gold jewels on. And she said, Jade, salt and sugar look the same. Maybe you should have more discernment in who you choose to be friends with. Jade was looking at her like, okay, bitch, I don't need you to tell me that. What's next? I just want to remind you, Jade, that there is only one queen, and that is Charlotte Flair. Then Tiffany Time walked into the scene, and she said, good luck with that, girls, and proceeded to clop her way to the ring. Legato del Fantasma got their vignette. Santos Escobar basically said, listen, we got to do some things down to the words collide because these guys are speaking Spanish, and I see this is where they are most comfortable. They are having a good time. I feel like they are excited to be able to wrestle with the luchadors and get this AAA thing going. I would like to see what this is going to look like. Is it just going to be for PLEs, or are you going to incorporate all of these luchadors into the WWE television? I would like to know what's going to happen here. Byron Sachs had a backstage interview with American Made. Somebody said that they had put on that headband because they wanted to emulate the red hat for the American Make America Great Again gals. I was like, well, I didn't see it, but now somebody said it. I see it. They're like sending out subliminals to the Make America Great Again gals. And you know what? Listen, the El Grande Americano thing, if you can't get where they're going with this, I don't know what to tell you. But either way, this was funny because Penta and Andrade was talking to each other in Spanish, and then Chad Gable was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and Penta and Andrade was like, "CK, CK," which means yes, what? Because I understood a little bit of Spanish, right? And so Penta came in, was like, you know, what's going on, whoop the whoop the whoop, like what this motherfucking gringo is sitting here agreeing with you. We talking about how we gonna whoop his ass. That's what they said in Spanish. And then Chad Gable got mad and was like, "Stop it." And then Penta was like, "What's wrong? Like, what's he said? You think that's funny?" He was like, "Yeah, it's funny that you don't understand what the fuck we saying, but you can agree that we gonna whoop your ass." Anyway, Nick was like, "Listen, I don't got time for what y'all got going on, but what we gonna do is go ahead and have a match, and y'all can clear that out at the ring." So it's the Creed brothers versus Penta and Andrade. Seeing Amos later on. Go straight into Tiffany still walking to the ring through all of that. Tiffany overlines her lips with a brown liner. Please, someone get with her makeup artist. It does not look good. I'm just saying. Wig was kind of dry, but such is life. Didn't really put any effort into it. You got a big fat clip in the back. Did like the presentation tonight. Either way, Tiffany said, let's call it what it is, shall we? Last year, I didn't just become the youngest Miss Money in the Bank. I became the it girl of WWE, which is why I can see it now. Every single lady in the match is going to try to pull a Tiffy and pull the ladder and get the briefcase and reach for the stars. Listen, Tiffany, we've been doing this for a long time, sweetie. Ain't nobody doing nothing you doing, okay? I don't know if Tiffany's a heel or a face, because what this was given was all heel. Either way, what time is it? And Bakersfield said, titty time. And then Rhea Ripley came out. Rhea Ripley, everybody's happy to see Mother Leather. Okay, her panties was on tight tonight. She gave you face. She gave you lyrics. She walked and sauntered to the ring like a quarterback she is. She's actually the quarterback, not Cody Rhodes. Rhea Ripley got in the ring and made a promo for absolutely no fucking reason. But the reason was Bakerfield wanted to see her. So we had her talk because no one else gave a promo. Okay? Rhea Ripley essentially said, you know, I never had the opportunity to get the Money in the Bank briefcase because I never needed to. I was always the champion. And Tiffy, I miss being the champion. Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vega, Alexa Bliss, Naomi versus Roxanne, Gulia, and a 6-woman tag team match. I'm going to tell you, for everybody that says there's no stars, I'm going to tell you who the stars is right here on the Smackdown. We are Rhea Ripley, gets her pops, okay? Alexa Bliss, everyone enjoys seeing Alexa. Stephanie Vega, everybody is gooning all out for Stephanie Vega, okay? Roxanne Perez, Naomi, she gets the pop she's supposed to. She a heel. Everybody enjoys Naomi. They're having a good time with Naomi. She's getting more crowd reaction now than when she comes out as Mother Glow. And then we have Gulia in 72 layers of shit. Moving right along. This was a fun match. This was fun. Notable points. We was gonna get the Devil's Kiss. Booker T has again, like I said, he has laminated himself to the Devil's Kiss. When we was gonna get it, and then I believe somebody got out of it, and then Naomi got tagged in, and she was gonna give it to her, and then Stephanie got out of it, and she got in position to give Naomi the Devil's Kiss, and she proceeded to get ready, and then all the girls got in and start wailing on each other so the Devil Kiss can be laid down. Finally, she spun, proceeded to do it, and the audience is saying, ah, 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 ah. All they got to do is say, oh, yeah, man, and we done. If we could get the audience to say that one sentence during the Devil's Kiss, it's in there. It's already in there. We just need the, oh, yeah, man, and we good to go. We good to go. Every time she does the Devil's Kiss, they harken back to Booker T. Booker T in NXT is getting the people over, getting the girls over, simply from ad-libbing and being his goofy self. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So towards the end, unfortunately for Roxanne, she ended up being the punching bag for the night. She went to go tag in Naomi. Naomi said, no, bitch. Gulia was already gone. And so that was left to Vikea, Ripley, and Bliss. They proceeded to whoop Roxanne's ass. Everybody put on their finishing moves, literally folded this little girl up. Stephanie Vikea delivered a eat defeat. I would like someone to get Stephanie Vikea with what is her name? It is round to my tongue. I done forgot because I ain't see the girl. I forgot. What's her damn name? I can't stand her. Mia Yim. Somebody get Mia Yim down to Stephanie Vikea's office so she can learn how to eat the feet properly. That was an eat the feet. What Mia Yim do is the feet just be in the air and ain't nobody eating the shit. Okay? Notably, the girls were not on the show. So I have to just say this to put it in the air. Get B-Fab away from Meechin. Because look, she ain't on the show. Rhea, Stephanie, Alexa Bliss stood tall tonight. So that gives me hope. Because by WWE logic, when you stand tall, you don't win. So fingers crossed. Come on, Naomi. I really feel like if Naomi don't get that belt, that briefcase, I'm probably gonna turn this motherfucking pay-per-view off. I really feel like that's gonna happen. Moving right along. Solo Sikoa was down there talking to JC because he was still riled up about things. And Solo said, listen, calm down, JC. Look, don't worry about Jacob because he's a fucking idiot, okay? He's all gas and no brains. I'm here. We're going to use him to get what we got to get. And eventually we're going to turn on that dumb motherfucker. Just go ahead and let him talk shit and bark. And don't worry about it, okay? They walk off. Guess who done heard the whole thing? A la Bailey after Io Sky and them turned on her. Jacob Fatu. He heard that he is all gas and no brains. Uh-oh. Street Profits. They was back there because Uncle Howdy had just cut a promo. And everybody's like, damn, he looked like Bray Wyatt. I didn't see it. I thought it was a leather mask, to be honest with you. Either way, from my understanding, what the Y6 is now doing is they're going into the tag team division to get everybody together and test the loyalty and the trust of the brotherhood and see if the bond will be broken because there's a ship unsaken by the storm and they are going to come in and shake the ship and make it hit a barge and sink. And what the person who they're going up against has to do is lock in and hold hands and form like a coalition of love that will shut down the Y6. Tell me I just didn't explain that to you. Top motherfucking tier. So, the Street Profits, they was back there like, look, don't even worry about these tag teams, okay? We got other fish to fry because the Y6 is coming. They going crazy. DIY is like, Okay, go do that. Um, what's his name? Dawkins said, "Look, we the boogeymen around here, and we got the ooga booga." And I wish he didn't do that. Martez said ooga booga, and they walked off. Okay, and then Axiom was like, "Yo, we ain't never been pinned. We hype. We finna go after the Y6. Fuck that." DIY was like, "You know what? That's a good idea. Go do that." And then the Motor City Machine Guns was like, "Look, we seasoned as fuck. Okay." We more seasoned than a rotisserie chicken burnt in the sun. So don't even think that y'all gonna jump ahead of us. We about to go take care of the Y6. And DIY was like, yeah, do that. Do that. And then they said, look, Nick, go ahead and book a match for these folks because they all charged up. And Nick was like, you know what? That's real interesting what this looks like. I hope DIY understands that the Wyatts are coming for them and not the other guys. At least that's what I think. I think the Wyatts is coming for them. And oh girl, it's obvious because what Nikki gonna do? Joe Tess and Ray Barrett ran down the cards for Collides and Money in the Bank. One more time, I got Naomi and LA Knight. And the only thing I'm gonna watch from Worlds Collide is the Stephanie Vaquer match against Dalise and Chick Tormenta. I'm interested in that. Oh, and I keep forgetting old girl's gonna be with Stephanie Vaquer. Uh Cuban dance queen. I forgot her name. Whatever. Moving right along, Penta and Andrade Cien Almas versus the Creed brothers. Whatever. Either way, we went ahead and got the dog showing up with Seth Rollins and his pig. They ran wild in the ring. We got Seth trying to get a curb stomp onto Andrade. It didn't really fare well. He did complete his curb stomp with Penta, and there was some spears, and then there was some what you call tsunamis, and that was the end of that. Penta and Andrade got the pinfall. Paul Heyman cut a very long and unnecessary promo. Paul Heyman is just not, he just doesn't have it right now. The aura that he had with Roman and even Brock Lesnar has now all but dissipated around him, and he looks like a fat man in a suit. Fat guy in a little coat. You remember that? Okay, I'm gonna leave it because if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Um, he just went out there to basically tell us Seth's plans, and we already know Seth wants to Thanos the entire WWE universe. Cody Rhodes came in. Whoa, whoa! Jey Uso, yeet, yeet, yeet. And they got in the ring. Cody Rhodes cut a very long promo. Let me tell you something about Cody Rhodes' promo. Don't nobody know what the fuck he's talking about. That's why he didn't get no pops. It's like seeing Michael Cole standing next to the Hardy Boys. Please understand that the audience is literally born in the late 2000s. Okay? Stop it. And just like why you mention Castanet and all these people don't know what the fuck you talking about. And Jey Uso he has no dialogue anymore. I got one word, 4 letters. Yeet. Oh, excuse me. Yeet. One time for the one time. There you go. John Cena came to the ring, essentially told everybody they was shit. Then we got Logan Paul came into the ring, fucked up the thing. He basically knocked Jey Uso out a few times. Okay, they had already got they had already got fucked up by the dog, the little farm. That's what I'm calling the farm animals. The farm had already came in and fucked up everybody anyway because we got a face off between did we have a face off between the Cane Corso and the Rottweiler? Because Jacob Fatu, he the wolf, but I think he more of a Rottweiler. Okay. Anyway, John Cena really stood on his toes this evening when he cut that R-Truth chanting. He said, y'all can't handle the truth because you're both a bunch of fucking losers. He basically gave an attitude adjustment to what's this boy's name? To Cody Rhodes. And then he had old boy bring back in Jay, told him to knock his ass out, which he did. Now you can see Logan Paul's fight, fists coming a mile away. Logan Paul knocked Jay out on his ass again. They held the titles up. I'm not even gonna hold you. Logan Paul didn't look bad with that IC title. He didn't look bad. The problem is he's not a full-time wrestler. They held the title up. That was the end of the show. I got 35 minutes out of this show. Okay. It was a decent show. I'm not even gonna hold you. You probably didn't even make it this far in this review to hear that it was a decent show. No, it was a decent show. Not even gonna hold you. Fun segments was the ladies. Definitely go back and watch that. I would even, especially with the way Rhea Ripley sold that DDT from Roxanne Perez was fantastic. Turned the crowd on. That was probably the highlight of the evening. I'm gonna leave it right there. I ain't got no. What is that? What I say? I'm tired.